Saturday, December the 21st, 2024. I finished the series. Bill Terry, 1923 to 1936, looked at each season. I was curious about this guy, and when I looked at every season and all the box scores, I came away with the impression that he was a very good hitter, pure hitter. 341 career batting average. He played in 1,721 games. Got 6,428 at bats. This video, a recap. Runs scored. 6 times he got over 100. His high was 139 in 1930. That was a great season, 1930. Here's some of his good 100 runs scored totals. 101, 100, 103, 139, 121, 124, and 109. So that is 7 seasons over 100. So he had 1,120 in 14 years. Hits, 2,193. This is significant. His career was 14 years, but when I looked at it closely, it came out to be about 12 and a half. Because his first year in 1923, he only played 3 games. So knock that year off, so 13 years. But then another year, he played 98, and then another year he played 79. So can we say 12 and a half years, he got 2,193 hits. That's a very good ratio. It's about 1.35 hits per game played. That could be top 10 all time. He had 6 200-hit seasons, and he had 2 more over 180. So 8 seasons over 180 hits. Listen to these totals: 189, 185, 226, 254, 213, 225, 213, and 203. He accumulated a lot of hits, especially in a 7-year period from 1927 through 1935 is where he got most of all his hits. How about 1930 season? 254 hits. I did a research to find out how many guys have 250 hits in one season. All right, so what you do is you go to Baseball Reference, put it in, look at the seasons. Here's how many guys had 250 hits in a season. Ichiro Suzuki, 262. George Sisler, 257. Lefty O'Doul, 254. Bill Terry, 254. Al Simmons, 253. Roger Hornsby and Chuck Klein, 250. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 guys in the history of baseball have 250 or more hits in a season. Bill Terry is one of them. Also, I did a little research. I asked myself the question, how many guys have 250 hits in a season and batted 400 the same year? I found out only 3 guys did it. George Sisler, 257 hits, batted 407 in the same year. Roger Hornsby, 250 hits, batted 401. And the other guy, Bill Terry, 254 hits, and he batted 401 in 1930. Only 3 guys. So Bill Terry can make the claim, hey, look at that stat on my line. Doubles, 373. Triples, 112. Homers, 154. He's not a home run guy. RBIs, 1,078, 14 years. He had 6 seasons over 100 RBIs. His high was 129. Stolen bases, 56. Didn't have the speed. Walks, 537. So he wouldn't get walked that much either. Strikeouts, 449 in 6,428 at-bats. That's a good ratio. Career batting average, 341. He batted over 300 11 times out of 14 years. First year doesn't count. Batted 143. That doesn't count. It's only 3 games. So he had 2 seasons where he was under 300. 1924, he batted 239. And 1926, he batted 289. The rest of the season's over 300. So 11 out of 14 years. Listen to these totals on batting average. 319, 326, 326 again, 372, 401, 349, 350, 322, 354, 341, and 310 is last year. 341 career batting average. Top 10 all time. On base, 393. Slugging, 506. Total bases, 3,252 in 14 years. He had 5 seasons over 300 total bases. His high was 392 total bases. Here's the question of the hour. Where can we rank Bill Terry among the best hitters of all time? Not the best, greatest players of all time, but among the greatest hitters of all time. Well, the flaw he has is 14 years. Not enough. Not enough games. 1,721. Not enough at-bats. 6,428. You need about 8 to 10,000 at-bats to really measure your career batting average. So that's one knock against him. Would I put him in the top 10 all time as far as best hitters of all time? No, I wouldn't do it. I'll tell you why. I've got 10 guys ahead of him. Who do I have ahead of Bill Terry? Well, obviously, you got to go with Ty Cobb's 366, so that's one. Roger Hornsby's ahead of him. Joe Jackson had a 356 career batting average. But he has 13 years in the books, and he has only 4,981 at-bats. So I'll put Bill Terry ahead of Joe Jackson. But there are other guys still ahead of Bill Terry. So you got Cobb and Hornsby. They're ahead of him. Tris Speaker's ahead of him. Ed Delante's ahead of him. Ahead of Bill Terry. Because Ed Delante had 346 career average, 2,600 hits, more hits. And obviously Tris Speaker's 345 average, 3,500 hits. So that's 4 guys ahead of him. Billy Hamilton, would you put him ahead of Bill Terry? He had about the same number of hits. Terry had 2,193, Hamilton 2,164. About the same number of bats, but Hamilton has the 344 career average, Terry 341. So I got Hamilton ahead of Bill Terry. Okay. Ted Williams, yeah, I got him ahead. He's 344. So how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys I got ahead of him. Dan Brothers, he's got 342. That's a better average. He was in the old school era. He's He's got more hits, too. So I got Dan Brothers ahead of Bill Terry. Babe Ruth, I got him ahead of him. 342 average. Harry Heilman, 342. I got him ahead of him. Willie Keeler, 2,900 hits. Yeah, I got ahead of him. Lou Gehrig, 340. Would I put Lou Gehrig ahead of Bill Terry? Even though, yeah, I would. You know why? 2,700 hits, 17 years. So I got him ahead. George Sisler, yes. He's got 2,800 hits. Tony Gwynn, yes. Even though the lower average, 338 career, he's got the 3,000 hits. I got him ahead of him. Jesse Burkett, yes. Nap Lajoie, yes. So you can put Bill Terry top 20, somewhere between 15 and 20. Okay? As far as ranking. But his 12 and a half years, he produced a lot of hits. And his 341 average is remarkable. And he had a 401 batting season, something that Gwynn didn't do. Neither did Gehrig. Neither did Ruth or Brothers. But those other guys have higher averages and more career hits. Is that fair? Bill Terry, 15 to 20 on the rankings. All right, we're done with him. Who should we look at next? Well, I'm going to career batting average leaders. I like those guys with high career averages. But some of the guys did not play long enough. But still, you got to look at them. I looked at Joe Jackson's 356, so I covered him. You got to look at this guy named Lefty O'Doul. He's only 11 years in the league. Lefty O'Doul. He only had 1,140 hits because he played 970 games. But he's got a 349 career batting average, so we can knock him out. Let's look at his 11 seasons. After that, we'll look at some other guys, and we'll eventually get to a lot of other Hall of Famers with career batting average and career accomplishments, okay? So on my YouTube channel, I keep looking at certain players, look at their seasons, evaluate them, and then rank them. Let's look at Lefty O'Doul next. I'm out.